In case you weren't in class today, or there was a part that you weren't quite listening or you didn't catch because we were going too quickly, we're going to go over the Nervous System Study Guide. So for number 1, the 3 main parts of the nervous system are the brain, the spinal cord, and neurons. The 3 types of neurons are the motor neuron, the sensory neuron, and the interneuron. The motor neuron is responsible for muscle movement, making muscles move. The sensory neuron collects sensory information, and the interneuron transports information back and forth between the other neurons. The 4 parts of the neuron are the dendrites, the soma, which is also the cell body, the nucleus, and the axon. So the dendrites collect information, collect the messages, and send it to the cell body, or the soma, where the messages are then transferred or turned into electrochemical impulses. And the nucleus is the control center of the neuron. And then the message goes down the axon. So it takes the message from the cell body, or the soma, to the axon terminals, where the information goes across the synapse and to the dendrites of the next neuron. The 2 chemicals that aid in the sending of messages from one neuron to another are sodium and potassium. The purpose of the myelin is to insulate the axon and to help messages travel faster. Interneurons are responsible for reflexes. The 3 main parts of the brain are the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem, which are answered by the questions 8, 9, and 10. The cerebrum is responsible for lots of different things: voluntary actions, collecting information from the senses, and complex mental thought, while the cerebellum is responsible for things like balance and fine motor control. The brainstem controls things that happen automatically, like breathing and heartbeat. The sense of smell operates over long distances, and it also happens, we have our olfactory senses in the nasal cavity by the mucous membrane that have sensory neurons in them that send the impulses to the brain to tell us what we're smelling. The name of the, smell works together very closely with taste. The outer part of the ear is the pinna. The 3 bones that are attached to the eardrum are the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. Remember that your ear has 3 bones: hammer, anvil, stirrup. The semicircular canals are important in balance. The cochlea is this nail-shaped organ that helps to convert the messages of sound and send them to the auditory nerve. The eustachian tube connects the mouth and the ear, and it's important for maintaining a constant pressure without popping the eardrum. The process of sight, beginning with the cornea, is it goes from the cornea through the pupil, that's the hole in the iris, to the lens, then through the vitreous to the retina, where the rods and cones are, and then through the optic nerve. The iris is the muscle in your eye. Rods help to detect the presence of light. The pupil is the hole in the iris. Cones help us to see color. Cataracts are a clouding of the lens of the eye. The receptor cells for touch are hot and cold, and they're in the middle layer of skin. They are light touch and pain, which are in the outermost layer of skin, and pressure, which is in the innermost layer of skin. For the question about how do all of the senses work together, this is one of the essay questions, so I'm not going to quite answer it. But what you need to think about is, for instance, if there's a fire, how does each of your senses help you gather information about that to help keep you safe? Also, for comparing and contrasting the nervous system, that's another essay question. So I'm not going to tell you the answer to that, but I will tell you that the information is in your endocrine system notes. Make sure you are able to label the diagrams that we've gone over. And remember, if you have any questions, you can email me or you can ask me tomorrow before class. That's it.